Hello and welcome to Lifetime in Court, the podcast where we discuss your favorite made-for-TV movies. Whether you love to hate watch or hate yourself for loving them, pour up a glass of your favorite cocktail and join us. I am your host, Patrick Serrano, and my guests today are...
I am Drew Current.
I'm Kathleen Butler-Duplessis.
Yeah, Kathleen is back again.
Still have time and still have a microphone, so...
We're here.
That's all you need.
That is the requirements, and, like a cocktail as well.
Oh, I got my boxed rosé.
There you go.
Fantastic.
I'm out of rosé. I'm out.
Well, there is a shortage.
I'm drinking a tequila
There's
smoothie.
a short. It's like toilet paper. Rosé
Right.
and toilet paper, all out of it.
Well,
Yes. We've made it. We've made it to Memorial Day weekend premiere of Lorena Bobbitt. We've been talking about it for weeks. I can't
the
believe we're here.
anticipation.
Yay!
We did it. We got there.
We made it. And let me tell you, Drew, it does not disappoint.
Oh, that's great news. I was kind of scared. I was kind of scared that it was going to be bad because then it's like, oh no, now we have to make fun of like domestic violence and the dude getting his dick cut off. Oh no.
No, it got me into what can only be described as a feminist rage. So,
Oh yeah. Well, that's good.
Yeah.
I was like so angry that I frightened my husband when I finished watching this.
That you almost cut your husband's dick off.
I mean, if he'd mess with me.
I mean,
Right.
fuck. Yeah, you mess with me, I'll cut your dick off.
Yes.
Well, and this is the thing, right? This is what everyone knows about Lorena Bobbitt, okay?
That's
know
all
that
we
Lorena
know.
Bobbitt cut off a penis, and that's all you know, really.
Yeah,
I mean,
it was just like a
we
late
were
night joke.
We
I
were
mean,
babies when this happened.
I don't feel I don't feel like, because I remember I was like in my teens, I think.
No, Drew, we
When
were
this
babies.
happened?
We were like just born.
Right, sure, we were just born. That's right, because we're young.
Right,
We're
we're
not
very
old
young.
guys. We're not old men.
Speaking of young, there's children running upstairs on my apartment above me, so...
They're not really there, Patrick.
Oh no, it's like the hours.
But yeah,
spoiler.
But I'm saying that like if we like I remember it being that's so when it first like kicked off, of course the media was just like, this fucking bitch cut this dude's dick off.
Yeah.
Like that was the whole media thing. But like I think over time, I think most people know that the motherfucker deserved it.
But yes and no. Like I do just remember I do just remember it being a joke. Like
Totally.
late night jokes. And like I mean, there are a lot of similarities to the Monica Lewinsky scandal. It's like that would have been handled entirely different, but the 90s were like, ha ha, jizz.
We're just like, whoa, everybody's touching each other's penises.
Blowjobs, ooh.
Whoa.
You know, like
Such a strange time.
It's a weird
like,
time.
In general, like,
90s was very weird. 90s was a very weird time.
John Bobbit in the 90s as well.
I think John Bobbit was also in the 90s, also very weird.
But
And
I don't
there's
think that
probably-
one was, I don't think John Bonet was taken as much of a joke. I mean, there was like
No.
Oh my gosh,
fascination with
so
it.
many-
I mean, there
but-
were-
so many
there
John
were
Bonet
jokes.
Yeah, there were
So
definitely
many.
joke, but
There were some.
Knock knock.
who's there?
Who's there?
John Bonet.
John
John
Bonet
Bonet who?
Exactly.
Oh, damn.
She did. Okay.
The
there you
brother
go.
did it.
Jeez.
The
There we
brother
go.
did it. We
I think
all
that's our
know
first-
The brother did it.
I think that's our first John Bonet joke
Well, good.
on the show.
There you go. There you go. always good with a knock knock joke. But okay, so the movie actually, let's jump back to the movie, because the 90s, there hasn't been a Lifetime movie about Monica Lewinsky. Surprisingly, there has been about John Bonet, and I don't know what took so long to get to freaking Lorena Bobbitt.
Yeah.
Yeah. That seems like, I think everyone's been dropping the ball on that one. Because
Lorena Bobbitt's... Oh, sorry.
Mhm.
I just totally interrupted you.
No, it's now that time has passed, like how much time has passed, it's like we know all the things about it. So it's like, why aren't we doing that?
And it is like... It is so wild that it is like an actual Lifetime fictional movie.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
it
good
was
call.
sensational.
It was just huge. Maybe
sensational.
maybe no one was touching.
Yeah, not like oh, the next sensation, but like sensational and is like wild.
Yes. So the movie stars Dana Montalvo,
Great.
Mhm.
Luke Humphrey, and Lorena Bobbitt, or now Lorena Gallo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Lorena
I-
Bobbitt's
she
actually
was
in the movie.
Lorena Bobbitt.
Yeah, she like narrates.
She narrates, and she's a producer, and she's like heavily involved in the production.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
So that was like amazing to see right off the bat. You're like, okay, good.
And also, I looked up the woman who played Lorena Bobbitt in the movie, and she's like she's like a legit real actress, and you can tell she's very freaking good.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of didn't even think it wasn't Lorena Bobbitt the whole time.
Yeah, we thought it was just a time machine.
I thought it was just a time machine. I'm watching the Lorena Bobbitt's memories.
You're watching a documentary in real time.
Yeah, totally. And the director was actually pretty good. It was a female director. I wrote down her name. Dishanka. Oh God, Dishanka Esterhazy is how I'm saying it.
We're gonna get in trouble for that.
Yes.
Well, she was so good.
I thought she did a really good job. Like, because Drew, like when you have the person like narrating the story, it can get a little like feeling like you're watching a reenactment type of thing where they're narrating and then you see what happens. And then
it can be a little like 48 Hours mystery kind of,
Totally. This was not that. This was like doing some time jumps, but it all made sense. And Lorena Bobbitt did a good job framing the movie so you understood the time period.
Yeah.
And why, if this happened now, things would have been so much different.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
For sure.
Yeah. Because they literally open on her throwing it out the window. That's how we start this. Well, it opens on Lorena Gallo, like, saying this is my story, blah, blah, blah. But the first thing that we see of the like movie proper is her throwing it out the window.
She's just like,
yeah.
There you go, motherfuckers.
And I gotta say, thing to note, Lorena Bobbitt in 2020 is blonde. So that's how we know they're different. Even in this Lifetime movie, the two protagonists have different colored hair. So
yeah, you gotta do that. You gotta do it.
And
can I give a shot to can I say the director's name, what I think it's pronounced?
Oh, please
yes, please.
Danishka Esterhazy.
Oh.
Okay. Very two different
That sounded
interpretations.
accurate.
Or maybe Esterhazy.
Yes.
I would say Esterhazy or Esterhazy. I fucked it up too. Fuck me.
Hey,
anyway,
that's all right. However you pronounce it, she's a phenomenal director. And even also Drew, her best friend, I think in real life and in the movie, blonde hair. So she was brunette, and then the friend was blonde. So once again, we kept that trope.
Dude, white girls all look the same, man.
Lorena wasn't.
Lorena is not white. Very important to this movie and to probably her life.
Yeah.
Right.
We start out in 1988. We have Lorena, and she meets John at a bar. He's like a Marine, and he's like hot or whatever. And she's talking about being born in Ecuador. So I was like, oh my God. Well, I wasn't born in Ecuador, but, I know a lot of people who were.
Yeah.
So she's probably my cousin. Who knows?
Absolutely.
Yeah. But I did not know she was Ecuadorian. And then she moved to Venezuela. And then she moved to, like, the USA when she was, like, I don't know, in her teens or something.
And it's also, like, a big theme. Because, like, she moved there without her parents, right? Because she was staying with her aunt and her cousin.
Mm-hmm.
And that was a big deal about, like, how it was her big dream to move here. And, like, she felt like everything was coming true for her. And she meets this asshole.
Right. And she thinks it's, like, great because he's, like, very charming. And he, like, charms the aunt.
And he's
the
a Marine.
Cousin. Yeah, he's a Marine.
Mm-hmm.
And he, like, lays on the charm straight away.
Mm-hmm.
But he's also, like, kind of controlling her in, like, little, like, minute ways.
Yeah. But, and that's what I like about this movie is they don't give us, like, tons of time of him being just charming. Like, literally 8 minutes in, he calls her friend fat.
Yeah.
Like, I'm happy that they didn't do that thing where it's like, because most abusive relationships, they don't start out so terrible. It's the thing that happens here where, like, it's little things and then bigger and then bigger and then bigger and then bigger. But they don't let us spend too much time in the little things. Like, 8 minutes in, we're like, oh, he's a piece of shit.
Yeah, he's a piece of shit.
Yeah.
And like, nowadays, it would be like, oh, hey, that's everyone has listened to too many true crime podcasts to know that this guy's a piece of shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they do mention like a couple times that like Lorena's 19 and he's like older than her, so he's kind of like putting, controlling her that way by like making her feel stupid and stuff because she's like a nanny and she's a nail tech, and he's like, oh, you could do better than that or whatever, like kind of judging her. Yep. And he invites his cousin to stay over. They like move in together and they
because they got married. They got married like at a justice of a peace kind of situation. Like he gave her a promise ring, and then they got married when she was 19. 19.
Yeah,
get it.
Yeah, like I was still drinking Malibu and Coke at 19.
Oh, for sure.
Like, and yeah, and then
I think I was on shrooms the entire year.
Probably.
Yeah.
Probably.
Yep.
Absolutely.
But the cousin is like a party boy, so like him and John go out, they party, they drink or whatever, and Lorena goes out with them because she's like 19, 20. She's like, oh, this sounds cool. Like I'm gonna go out with my man at the club, and he drinks too much, and she's like, give me your keys, and then he gets like abusive with her in the bar. He's like grabbing her and like, I'm driving my car. And she like they get in the car and he's like swerving all over the road and everything, and he goes into head-on traffic with his car, and she like grabs the wheel to like save their lives, and then he's like, don't fucking touch my car, and like starts like beating her
and
in the
then
car.
He hits her. This is 14 minutes into the movie, we see her being hit for the first time.
Yes.
Yeah.
And like, whoa.
I'm pretty sure it was either this time or a later time in the movie, because she started as a nanny, and then she kind of idolizes the mom who she nannies for, who has a nail salon, and she's like, can I start working at your nail salon too? Because like I want to be just like you. And she's like, great, and like takes her under the wing. And so it's like her first paycheck from the nail salon, and she wants to celebrate. And then he's like, great, come on, Robbie, or whatever his piece of shit cousin was called. So like. Yep. He makes her take him and his friend out, pays for her drinks, then almost kills them, and then hits her 14 minutes into this film.
For saving their lives. And also the cousin, let's just get this out of the way. Like, this person, if he had ever been interviewed, he would have been a witness to a lot of abuse, and then could have like testified on Lorena's behalf. So this guy is like a piece of shit too.
Yeah.
He's almost kind of a double piece of shit.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. That's what I'm saying. Like, he's around a lot in this movie. Like, and you can be guaranteed that was Lorena Bobbitt or Lorena Gallo saying, like, let's just make sure that this is very clear that he's in this scene.
Yeah,
because
there
he
was
there.
Fucking
lots of people who could have stopped this and did not.
Right. And that's what the movie kind of asserts over and over and over.
Yeah.
So, where am I?
Well, and then it jumps. That's what's tricky, because then it jumps back to her being interrogated. Like, I don't know. Like, do we tell the story in order, or do we tell the story in order of the movie?
Well, I think in the movie, because I'm pretty familiar with the story. I want to hear how like they did it in Lifetime.
Right. So basically, like, after the fight, like the police are called, Lorena gets taken away. Mm-hmm. Then real Lorena Gallo comes on, and she's like, she thought the abuse would stop. That's why she didn't leave him. Mm-hmm. And, she didn't leave him because she just thought it was like a one-time thing.
Yeah.
Well, and he also was like, or in real life, he was also like manipulative. I mean, he was manipulative. Like, he was just like, oh, baby, come on now, baby. Yeah, baby. Oh, come on, baby. I'll never do it again, baby.
Yeah. A little bit of that. And then also, like, she did keep mentioning, like, I was 19. I didn't know what marriages were. I grew up Catholic. My brain wasn't
formed yet.
I was literally a Catholic virgin, and you don't get divorced.
Right. Mm-hmm. Totally. So we flash to 1993 now, and it's after the incident with the penis, and she's talking to the police. She's like getting interrogated, like Kathleen said, and the police are like kind of
the incident with the penis.
The incident with the penis. They're kind of being assholes.
What do you mean? What happened? What happened to this penis?
Well, they're just like, and like, because it's also like they didn't understand that marital rape is a thing and that it is simply rape. You know what I mean?
Right.
And so, and also, and like she and Lorena Gallo pops in to tell us she was interrogated for 14 hours and was never offered a translator or an attorney. So, like, when they cut to the interrogation scenes, it's her and her blonde friend from the salon.
And
So
the friend from the salon, by the way, has a terrible wig.
Oh,
Just a world.
terrible
wig.
But she's a good friend. She also, and that's the other theme that we see in Lifetime movies, whether they're real stories or ones that they wrote, is a good friend is any abuser's worst nightmare. Because this friend is really sticking up for her and is like trying to like talk to the cop. The cop also like shuts her down. But yeah. And because she was like, also, I like didn't know English that well. So like what she's trying to describe as, you know, marital rape sounds wild when she's trying to say it with very little English and no sleep.
Right. Because like the thing, Drew, about it is that was interesting is like they use the actual like transcribed interview.
Oh, yeah. Good call.
And she's like saying like he always has an orgasm and he doesn't give me an orgasm, like trying to explain rape, but they hear it as jealous Latina bitch.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I mean? They're like, oh, she's just mad she didn't get off. What a psycho.
Yeah.
You know? And like
also, and everyone is
I like these ones that are like that like I love the stuff where like the Lifetime movies. Like I think what was the other one we did with that other fucking garbage human? Oh, Chris Watts. Yeah.
Yeah.
Where it's like I know what happened, but like do it. Yeah. Like I just love how it's like great job, Lifetime. Just like going into the actual the script of the interview. Yeah.
And it also it let you see how at the time that stuff could have been very easily misconstrued and turned into jokes and become a whole thing.
Right. And then we see Lorena watching the late night talk show host like Letterman and all that bullshit, like doing punchlines, and she's like the punchline of America. And she cries to like her friend or maybe her cousin. She's like, he beat me, he raped me, and everybody thinks this is funny. Like, what's wrong with America right now? Like, why is this funny? I don't get the joke. You know what I mean? You're like, yeah. Why is it funny?
And we thought it was hilarious.
It's so fucked up. I can't.
Well, and we just didn't know. We didn't know what the fuck was going on. Like,
we were babies.
I
mean, this is really on.
That's the thing is. I do.
This is on the boomers, man. This is on the boomers.
I actually was like, I want to say, I was definitely in elementary school, so I don't know how adults handled it. But I mean, the adults are the ones on the freaking late night shows and stuff.
Totally.
I mean, I know how high school kids handled it. Yeah. Well, I don't. Well, wait, no, I don't, because I wasn't. I'm young.
We were babies.
Because you were born.
Babies.
But
did I even on Twitter? Just to talk about Twitter for 1 second, because I've been live tweeting these. Everybody was like doing snip memes and like getting out the knife gifs. Yeah. And I'm like, ha ha ha, hilarious. And then the movie started. I was like, not funny.
No, none
anymore.
of this is funny. I know, like I've been making a few, not jokes, but like, you know, we kind of, I don't know.
Well, I've gotten to the point where it's like I make a joke where it's like, that good job, job, Lorena.
Yes.
Cut that piece of shit's dick off.
Because then
and that's what Twitter turned into. It was like,
and eat it.
Yeah.
Like overnight it was like, I really wish
roast it, put in a hot tub.
I wish she would have made him suck his own dick until he suffocated.
Yeah, just like
but like if she could have like taken it out a little bit so that he could have suffocated as slowly as humanly possible, and then also maybe lit him on fire while it was happening, so he'd be like burning and suffocating at the same time.
Well,
that's what I wish.
Throw in an allegedly for you, Kathleen, just for legal reasons. All this is alleged, and we would never do this ever.
No, I wouldn't do it to someone, but he deserves it.
Yes. So we allegedly just throwing it in there for whatever lawyers, you crazy lawyers out there,
you crazy lawyers.
So we flash back to 1988, and
do we get to is this Memorial Day weekend?
I think so. It's like around the Christmassy time, like.
But we skipped. I think we may have skipped because there is like they go on. he's like, oh, let me make it up to you after the first car swerve hit. And he's like, let's go, to like some little beach town or whatever. So he gets the cousin, Todd, or whatever the fuck his asshole name is. And she brings along her blonde friend so that maybe, there could be something with her and Todd. And the two girls go into the diner or whatever, and somebody hits on her. And then, what's his name? I'm glad I forgot his name. But John walks in and starts yelling at them, and then he goes, fine, we're leaving, and then like starts to once again beat the shit out of her in the car. This time
in
the
front
blonde
of everybody.
in front of everyone, in front of blonde friend, who later will testify about it, and was like, and she was like, stop it, and he was like, I will like leave you in the car right now, like you can get out of the car. Like he was a monster.
Well, right. And the thing that I wanted to point out about this, because it happens again at Christmas later, he just keeps threatening her he's like, I'm going to call ICE and I'm going to get you deported.
Yeah, even though she was here legally.
Yeah.
But he was like...
He's going to say that the marriage was a green card marriage and that she just used him. They're not really in love, and that he's just being used for a green card. And
even though... their marriage had nothing to do with her green card. She already had a green card. Like her whole status was legit without him. But his point, which especially even today is very true, it's like people don't need a reason. You simply have to be from somewhere else where you're not white, and then and he kept like, I think in one of the scenes, like they talked about how he like took her paperwork away so that like she literally had no proof of anything.
Yep.
Yeah. So just manipulating everything. So later, then she gets pregnant, and he basically forces her to have an abortion, which is like a really terrible scene where they're at the clinic, and he's like, "Those needles are gonna really hurt," and like all this like fucked up shit about
and everyone in the waiting room is like staring at like.
Well, if she's Catholic, like that's a big no.
And then. Right? I
don't know Catholicism, but I think that's a big no.
Yeah, that's pretty big up on their list of things that you don't do. And the nurse at the clinic, it was like also like, yes, Lifetime, because she was like the one beacon of hope in this movie. Like she kicked him out of the office and then was like, do you really want to do this? Like you don't have to. We can talk about some other options that you would have, or like whatever. And she of course is too manipulated and brainwashed at this point to be like, yeah, let's figure this out. But it was like, these women who work in these clinics are also just beacons of light.
Yeah,
but
totally.
Oh, and then there's a Thanksgiving scene. We're just like all out of order, but I can't keep track. They do a good job of making it.
We're pretty much in order, but
okay.
So like now we're in 1990 at Thanksgiving. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Kathleen.
And this is when I hated him the absolute most, because her mom is in town visiting, and we see him try, like most of the movie you actually don't see him attempting to be charming at all. And in this scene he kind of is, because her mom's there and they're like dancing in the kitchen, like being really cute. And this is like, I hate this man so much.
So the most charming scene of him made you the most mad?
Yeah, because it's like, fuck you. Don't dance with her mom in the kitchen. You're a piece of shit.
You piece of shit.
Totally. Well, and then, he proves it afterwards, because
it turns real quick.
Yeah, he wants to watch football, and Lorena's mom wants to watch the Macy's Day Parade because it's Thanksgiving.
Don't we all?
Hello. Yes, we do that. Although the Macy's Day Parade is like on much earlier. Okay, just want to throw that up.
I'd rather watch football, but
so they don't really overlap. But anyways, because you have the parade, and then you have the dog show, and then you have the football. Everyone knows that.
Football.
It's very
football's
common.
At night.
Yeah.
Football's at night.
Yeah, it's very common knowledge. But for some reason in the 90s they must have did it all at the same time, and he like gets so mad that Lorena changed the channel. He like rips out the cable box and then like goes to leave, and Lorena's like chasing
and
after him.
grabs
like,
her keys and his keys.
Yeah, he's like, you guys are just gonna stay here with no cable, no nothing. She like goes to get the keys, and he's in the car. He drives the car away with her arm like in the car, and
is holding onto her and drags her down the driveway in a speeding car.
Yep.
And
but then
that really happened, right, Drew?
Yep.
Because there's Drew, you like I don't know if you listen to a podcast or something, but you know about this case, right?
Oh yeah. Yeah, well, I was in like I got interested in it. So like like post high school, I mean elementary school.
Right.
No, let's face it, I was in high school. So there was like a phase in my later teens where I was like, the news is wrong and everything is fucked and the media sucks. And this was young. This is young, Drew. I now it's
Pretty
I mean I
advanced
did a lot of
thinking for a preschooler.
I did a lot of I did a lot of things that I would be like, whoa, what are you doing, dude? Back then. But one of them I like, and I've kept to it, and I've never gone away from it, is that I never believe the news ever for anything, for any reason. So I have to struggle with that. That's a curse. But that I got into it where it's like, it was like, I don't know, it was like 18 or something later on where I was like, something is fucky about this. And so I was trying to find something about it, but the internet wasn't real yet.
Sure.
But like later on, like in college, like when I went to college and finally internet came available at least in the libraries, I could look it up, and it was just like all this stuff. I don't know. I kind of got obsessed with it because I was like, why did this? Because like, I was like, first of all, I was like, I'm a man. I'm a heterosexual man, and I want to know how to not get my dick cut off. And so I got obsessed with like, why would this person cut this guy's dick off? There's got to be a reason for that. Like, why would anyone do that? Because this is like it's like I hadn't seen any other like news articles or anything like that about that thing, that like dude getting his dick cut off. And so that I totally got obsessed with it. Like, and so I dug in, and then I kept digging in, and then I was like, cool, got it. And then later on, when podcasts were invented and true crime podcasts were invented, boom,
there we go.
You just get even more info, and I'm just like,
maybe that's why Lifetime
bring it back
came out about it, because the general public started knowing, like, oh wow, Lorena did wrong.
She wasn't just a crazy person.
It's
like,
enough
that's the
time that went by, and it's perfect time right now these days. Yeah. To like bring that back up, because it's like, that's an issue, and it should be fucking shown because the cops,
the issue and her persona.
The cops were fucking horrible. Like that's the like, yes. Yep. John Bobbit is a fucking piece of shit, but we cannot talk about John Bobbit being a piece of shit without the cops being fucking
the cops
pieces
didn't
of shit.
Even like worry about her rape kit or anything. They were more worried about finding his wiener. Yeah. They're like, where'd you put the wiener?
That was a scene.
Well, we gotta get the wiener.
Yeah. And I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? You're asking her where'd you put the wiener? I'd be like, no, I'm not telling you ever.
Let me ask you, was this in the movie at all? And I'm sure they wouldn't show anything, but did they show? So what happened was, like, this is the real life thing. This is not Lifetime. Where so the cops were looking around in this field where they think she like just tossed his cock out, and one of the detectives saw it right down under him, and he lightly put his foot on it.
Ew.
Because he goes, oh my God, and he put his foot on it because he's just like, wow, what a tragedy. This fucking penis, this poor penis, sitting in a field all by itself.
They did not They did not show that scene.
He did that. This fucking detective did that shit.
Like, oh my God. Oh, they did not. And they showed enough that was like, oh, these people are monsters.
Yes. Oh yeah.
And because
I know they wouldn't show like a penis on Lifetime, but like where he's just like, oh my God, there's the poor little guy. Oh, this poor little man. Oh, his penis.
So basically, the movie continues to show John like getting more and more violent as Lorena's like trying to get help. She's like calling the police, and they're.
But in the incident with her mom, after the mom saw her getting drugged by the car, and she was about to call the police, and the mom was like, "Don't. This is a personal issue," and that's like old school.
Totally.
Catholic, and also this is the only thing she's seen. But it was oh great, give her more reasons to stay. Oh,
Well, just a lot.
yeah.
It's a lot of fear from that stuff. Yeah, like that's
so much actual fear, and like you were saying, like at this point we did see a cop show up. I forgot that first fight with Todd after the bar. A cop shows up because he sees them in the window, and she's like, "No, I'm okay." You know what I mean? Like, so there has been a little bit of police intervention at this point, and nothing actually happened.
Right, because she even goes to try to get an order of protection, and they're like, "Oh, tell us what happened," and then they're like, "Oh, actually, tell us again because the transcriber wasn't here." And she's like, "I have to tell my fucking shit like to everyone.
Yeah.
Like, what the hell?"
Yeah, and she was like, I gotta go back to work. I can't come after work, or he'll know something's up and probably kill me."
So we flash to 1993 after the penis incident, and the media is like a circus.
Got his cock cut off.
Yeah, they're like hounding Lorena. John goes into trial and he's found not guilty.
The rage. Because they couldn't use a lot of the like evidence of their abusive relationship.
It's
they didn't have they hardly had any because unfortunately she just like didn't report it. Like there was a lack of reporting of it, and there was because even like her mom, someone in her family, I can't remember now with that one, but someone in her family, like she was like, "Should I report this to the police?" She's like, "No, because if you do that, he's gonna get angrier and probably kill you." Like these were like, because that's the problem with this kind of shit, right? Is that you get scared of doing that just in case it doesn't happen, right? So it's like, what if he gets away with it? And then I'm dead. I'm fucking dead. Yeah.
So,
sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to say, Lorena is getting charged also with malicious wounding. That is her charge.
Oh, that's what it was. So not only, because like, people didn't even really believe that like spousal rape was a thing. Yeah, malicious wounding.
Malicious wounding.
But
malicious dick cutting.
Yeah. But also another reason he got off was she had to have had, like, even though she had records of abuse from the past, they needed to have like bruises on her from that night for them to consider it marital rape, which is fucking garbage. Yeah. But yes, she's now on trial for malicious wounding.
Yeah, so her trial goes on. It lasts for 12 days. Her hearings televised across the country.
Yeah.
So she can relive her trauma in front of all of America.
In front of everyone.
Entertainment. Really cool.
I do believe there was a cop, and I think that's how this, like, the story of that one detective, like, kind of just putting his foot over
gently putting his foot over his dick.
The cock, so no one sees it, is like, there was one of the police officers that was actually in her defense. Mm-hmm. Because he didn't like the way that like the other cops were handling, the detectives were handling this. He's like, this woman is getting like there were reports like
leading up to this.
There were reports, but they're just like wasn't enough of them or something. Like it was just whatever. It's fucking 90s, man. Who knows?
But fucking also
Wild West. It was a wild fucking West.
After he won, they have this like really great scene with her legal team where they're like, so listen, you're not insane, but we are going to have to plead insanity and use battered wife syndrome just as a way to get in all the evidence from all the billions of times that he'd hit her. Yeah. Which was smart and terrible. That we also have to be like, oh, you're just crazy. It's like, no, it's actually a very logical response to years and years of abuse.
Yep. Right. So, Lorena is taking the stand, and she has to testify in her for her own defense. And as she's doing so, the movie cuts to the night of the incident. We flash to that, and we see John like coming into the room, and this is like very brutally depicted, like no holds barred, like disturbing to watch.
There were a few scenes in this movie, especially of like rape stuff, that was just like definite trigger warning on this movie because it's
absolutely.
Where the actors had to like really have a good talk with each other.
Well, and
probably.
like unlike a lot of Lifetime movies, the fight choreography in this was really good. Like it was.
Yep.
Yeah.
The fight choreography in Lifetime movies is usually comically terrible. It usually cuts away, and we see a man in a cardigan set doing really bad special effects stunt work. You know what I mean? Like this was like
it just turns
really,
into Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon.
Yeah, it's like all of a sudden it's clearly a man.
They both have
in
swords.
A Kohl's Sonoma cardigan set. They're
jumping on rooftop.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes,
Like
yes.
this fight choreography was like scarily good, and it made you feel, you know, like I was like, "Ooh, Lifetime! Can't wait for the Lorena movie." And then I was like, "Oh no, this is terrible."
I know.
Oh,
I know.
It's now an
And
action
like
movie.
the actors were very good too, like
So
portraying
good.
like everything. So after she's raped very brutally, she's like, why do you do this? And he says, before he passes out, he says, I do it because I can.
Because I can.
And that's what triggers her and sets her off. She goes to the kitchen. She
Like,
gets
okay.
to get a glass of water. She sees
We're
the
talking
knife
about
on
things
the
we can
counter.
do?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then she cuts off the wiener, but we don't see that part. It flashes back to the
Because
to all the times as she's looking at the knife. It cuts back to all the times she's been abused before.
yeah.
And you know, you see like the cycle of an abused woman and the mental state that she was in when she did what she did.
And
Well,
just an abused human, like it's
Yeah.
it's a person, like this.
Absolutely.
Like I would do the same. We would do the same. We'd all
And
do
that's the
same.
thing, in that moment when he says, because I can, she knows this will never stop because he
No.
always will be able to. I need to make
Yeah.
sure that I also, and I wrote because I can in giant freaking letters.
Oh my god!
Before that-
it was iconic,
Click.
iconic like
Yeah, dude,
moment in a
that's-
movie. I was like, oh my
That's
god!
the
And
one,
because
what
it's
the
like,
fuck?
that is why he's doing it, because he can. And he's a
not
piece
gonna
of
stop,
shit.
and he's not going to stop.
He
just
will
with
never
her.
stop. He will never change. And in one of the trial scenes, he's asked, this is the other thing that I wrote down and then just wrote very large, fuck you. He's asked if he's ever hit her or abused her or whatever in court. And he goes, on my honor as a Marine. Like, fuck you.
Fuck your honor,
You
as a
piece of
Marine,
shit.
you
On
fuck
Memorial
you.
Day weekend.
Fuck
How
you.
Right.
dare you? The Marines are better than that. You're a piece of shit.
Absolutely.
What did you serve in the Gulf? Nothing happened there. Fuck you, you piece of shit.
So Lorena is found not guilty. We get a voiceover of Lorena Gallo promising
Yeah.
to stand up for all the abused women, and then we get like
Yeah.
little title cards that are like she lives in Virginia with her family.
Yeah.
She runs an organization, the Lorena Gallo Foundation,
Which I promptly gave $10 to.
absolutely.
Oh, nice, good.
Which
And
also,
we
like,
encourage
I don't
all of our
know-
listeners to do too.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. It doesn't. So the foundation does have a Facebook page, but it didn't have a donate button. But then if you like Google it, there's a charity navigator thing that had one. So
She needs some
hopefully
help.
that went to the foundation. But like, man, was I freaking riled up?
Totally.
But at least-
I mean, you should
As you should be.
Yeah.
I mean, that's fucking, that is like, this, like one of the biggest pieces of shit who still like didn't get his fucking
no.
deserved justice
No,
anyway, like, because he's a
not at all.
garbage person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Fuck.
Ugh.
on the podcast, we the board up, put a cork in it. Kathleen, what are you going to do to this movie?
I'm pouring it up. I'm pouring it
Yeah.
all over. Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna fill my bottle with vodka. It's not wine. It's something very flammable.
Yeah. yeah.
I'm going to cut off John Bobbitt's penis. I'm gonna stick it into his mouth, like I
Again.
said before, and make him asphyxiate on it. And then I'm gonna pour it up all over his body and light it on fire.
Yeah. That sounds good. I mean, that sounds right.
That's
think,
what I'm gonna pour it on.
Okay, Drew, how
Yeah.
about you?
Yeah. No, that sounds good.
Oh, same, samesies.
Well, I'm gonna do it a little differently.
Okay.
I'm gonna unattach his wiener.
Mhm.
I'm gonna put it. You know what? I'm just gonna say I'm gonna put it in a martini on
Ooh.
on a stick. Like you do with olives.
Mhm.
And I'm gonna pour. I'm gonna pour the martini onto his penis,
Okay.
Mhm.
and I'm gonna drink it. I'm gonna drink that martini.
And you're gonna use it like as a stir.
Yeah. I'm just
But
gonna
then
use
I
it as a
hope
stir.
that before you murder him, you pour some of the vodka onto his open dick wound so it stings really bad.
Oh,
Well, no,
okay,
I'm not gonna do that because it'll. I want him to
That's
like
wasting vodka.
suffer.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's wasting vodka. I
Drew
don't
doesn't
have.
waste vodka.
I don't do you. If you know me, I do
Drew
not waste
loves
vodka.
his vodka.
So-
I'm also pouring it up. I don't have a penis description, but I will just say that man is still alive and he is a piece of shit. And I looked up a picture of him and I found a picture of him drinking like a big gulp and sitting on a couch.
He was
Fuck
on
him.
he was in a porn. You know that he was in a porn after that.
Oh,
When he got
I
his
think
dick
I
attached?
remember that.
Wow.
He should not have. He should I would be fine. I'm fine that he's
and he
not
probably made
in
a lot
prison.
of money on that.
I'm fine that he's not in prison, but he should. His punishment should be that he can no longer have a dick.
Yes.
Right.
Like that should be his punishment.
That cop that stepped on it should have stomped on it and then
Yeah,
thrown
it should
it
have been
away. Like if I was on that
my
search
God.
team, that shit would have never found its way back to him.
But
I'm
no,
like,
Lifetime
I don't
did a
know.
really good job. You know, they can really fail on the biopic. So I think having Lorena involved was pivotal.
Yeah.
And then
Yes.
having a clear POV and a 2020 vision on it, money
Yes.
vision. They
Mhm.
did a really good job. Everybody involved, the casting, the writing, the directing,
Mm-hmm.
even the cinematography was pretty cool looking.
Yeah, great.
Yeah.
So I would
And
recommend if you're not triggered by any of the subject matter because it is very triggering and
Mhm.
Yeah, it's
But
like
it's kind of a revenge story in a way.
yeah, but the problem
that's
is
what's-
you don't
I do
get
like that.
my
It's
favorite
not
movie of
yeah.
all time is Enough starring Jennifer Lopez.
right.
And
it's not enough.
that is paced
It's
out.
not. It's not.
That's paced out in a way that there are some abuse scenes, but a good chunk of it is her as a training montage of her ready to kick his ass, and then
Multiple
we get
training montages.
and then we get the greatest fight scene of all time of her kicking his ass. Whereas this the night in question is all kind of broken up, and we do just get that kind of one moment of rage,
and
and
you're
then
also
because it's Lifetime, we don't get to see it.
You're outraged
Yeah.
by the injustice that she had to face.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Just-
so,
it really is just fucked.
Yeah.
The whole thing.
So yeah,
And it's-
97% of the movie is rage, and then you only get 3% of vengeance. You know.
Right.
Yep.
But you should donate to the Lorena Gallo Foundation. And also, if you are a victim of sexual assault or you need help, and you know someone who needs help, you can call 1-800-656-HOPE, which is 4673, or go to Rain's website and they can connect you with resources. So
Yeah.
Yeah, there are
That's-
people that can help
Yeah.
this.
There's lots of
shit
great
because it's-
Deborah's Place in Chicago is
bullshit.
another women's shelter that's phenomenal. There's lots of people doing their best, and especially right now on quarantine, domestic violence has gone up a shit ton,
Yep.
Yeah.
which is horrific. But imagine imagine Lorena
Not
Bobbitt
surprising.
being stuck with him
Yeah.
at this point, couldn't even go to the salon for those few hours a day that she was at peace.
Right.
It's so
No,
horrifying.
if she didn't do this, she'd be dead.
Oh,
If she
yeah.
didn't do this, she would die.
she would
would've been
yes,
killed.
Absolutely.
Absolutely would have been killed.
Ugh.
Okay.
But that shit happens, and fucking there are people that give a fuck about this shit,
That's right.
hardcore, and will protect you.
Yeah.
Go there,
Get
do
help.
that.
Get
Yeah.
help.
Search for it if you want to. If you're super afraid, all you have to do is go on your browser and go to search or go into incognito mode.
Yes. Tech
Your crazy
tips.
fucking piece of shit husband or whatever won't even fucking know that you search for that stuff.
Yeah,
There
and also
you
your friends
go.
want to
Good
help
tip.
you. They do.
Also, you can use that for Pornhub.
Okay.
You know,
All right.
you want Pornhub.
So that wraps up our conversation about Lorena. I was Lorena Bobbitt. I don't even think we said the title of the movie.
I think we did.
I was Lorena Bobbitt. But now, before we go, we have our favorite segment of this week, which we haven't done in a long time. We're going to do a Candace. So,
good.
you
We
know,
need a little levity.
Yeah, we'll lighten it up a little bit. So I'm going to play
There's
this
nothing
through-
lighter than a
through
Candace
my
Cameron.
microphone. You guys can dance quietly, and then we'll play a Candace clip. Okay?
Good.
Okay.
What you say, Candace Cameron Bure. On my wedding day, catch the bouquet. Candace hates the gays. Candace Cameron Bure. Drinking rosé, eating creme brulee. Can't share with me. Candace Cameron Bure. Yeah. What you say, Candace Cameron Bure. What You Say, Candace, Cameron, Bure, the segment where we watch Candace's Instagram and we talk about it.
Can I say this one thing?
Yeah.
I kind of miss her.
I know, right? You've been worried
Isn't
about
that
her.
weird? I've been
Let me
worried about
just
her.
tell you, during quarantine, she's been doing lots of Salvation Army ads.
Oh,
Okay, good.
Getting people to donate to Salvation Army and lots of quarantine content. So I haven't really been doing Candace because it's not very interesting, but it gets interesting now, okay?
ooh,
It's very exciting.
Ooh.
I'm going to play a little clip. I'm going to play the audio so you can hear it. You can kind of see it, but not really.
Okay.
It's almost 1 a.m. and I'm not sleeping because I went down the TikTok
Oh.
hours of watching videos.
Okay. So Candace is
no.
obsessed with TikTok.
oh my
Candace.
god, that tracks.
Her
Candace,
daughter got a
don't.
TikTok, and now Candace has a TikTok.
Candace,
oh, I bet you she's
don't.
doing all those stupid dances.
She did like a Schitt's Creek thing where she was Moira, and her daughter was Dan Levy, and they were folding eggs into a recipe.
No.
It was crazy.
No.
I caught up with Candace recently because she came onto E! News Daily Pop. And by I caught up with, I mean, so she came across my TV and I was just hit with this jolt of a thrill. And she was talking about the workout app that she got from her trainer. And I downloaded it, but then realized you have to like pay a bunch for the workout. So
Oh,
Yeah,
the Kira
yeah.
woman.
No,
Yeah,
don't-
that's too much.
yeah.
Don't do
Oh,
don't
I
download
love-
things.
I love
download
that
things
you
she downloads.
know who her personal trainer is without even me. You're like, oh yeah, Kira, sure.
Yeah, I know all about Kira. Okay. Wonderful. We'll just
Oh
do-
man, I don't know. I don't
That-
know.
That's our reintroduction to Candace.
Yeah.
Next week we'll do another Candace about TikToks because she goes further in detail.
Oh my god.
I hope my hope out of this, of her discovery of TikTok, is that her Instagram will now be like upped. Like it'll be up, like where she's like, oh, I gotta
Maybe.
edit these videos. I gotta like I gotta do magic tricks. I gotta fucking, or she's gonna do like jackass stuff. She's like, hi, I'm Candace Cameron.
Oh,
I'm gonna jump off the roof onto the trampoline.
That'd be amazing.
That would be my favorite.
Okay, so I think it's time for pluggy time. We'll start with Kathleen. Anything you'd like to plug in the pluggy time?
The Lorena Gallo Foundation.
Yes.
And my Instagram is at Kathleen Sing Stuff, and I am Kathleen Sing Stuff on YouTube.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Drew, how about you?
Yeah, you can find me on Instagram as well. Not Twitter. I'm on Twitter, but I don't care about Twitter. That's a scary, silly place. But you can find me on Instagram at Drew But With Pants. You can also go to the Not Safe for Work podcast, where me and my friend Charla, we talk about really horrible, disgusting things. And it's not safe. Well, just not safe for work things.
There you
Things
go.
you can't talk about for work. So, oh, and my band, The Limbos. The Limbos on Spotify. Just listen. Just take a listen.
Okay, thank you both for being here, and thank you, listeners, for checking back in with Lifetime in Court. We watch these movies, so you don't have to, but if you do, we'd love to hear from you. You can follow me at Patrick Miguel or the podcast at Lifetime in Court. Don't forget to rate and review us on Apple Podcasts. Okay, goodbye.
Bye.